The important thing is that I found my roots. I found the biggest answer of my life. Who am I?
Drop your flowers.
I am planning to visit my father's grave to let him know he has a child.
Để cho ông biết là ông có một người con.
I think I must tell my father that I love him very much. Not knowing her father, nor remembering her mother's face, Tran Thi Hoa's childhood was a series of days of utter loneliness and isolation. The only luck she had was her adoptive grandmother, the person who loved her as her own flesh and blood. She confided, "I am like a lost flower in the stream of life because I have never seen my biological parents' faces, but I have some consolation in living with my adoptive grandmother's family. For a very long period of my life was not as complete as others, but the love for my adoptive grandmother's family for me is something very sacred." Vietnamese American woman abandoned as a baby finds her American veteran father after 57 years. Hoa's adoptive grandmother, Mrs. Tran Thi Hoa, recounted that Hoa was the result of a relationship between a Vietnamese woman and a father who was an American soldier. When Hoa was a few months old, Hoa's mother brought Hoa to Mrs. Nho, who was then working as a babysitter. Hoa recounted tearfully, "Later, my mother came to visit twice and gave some money for raising me to my adoptive grandmother. But after the third visit, she never came back again." Seeing the child who was still too young and had been abandoned by her mother, Mrs. Nho could not bear it. So she adopted Hoa and treated Hoa as her own grandchild, caring for and loving her devotedly. Hoa also called Mrs. Nho grandma and Mrs. Nho's children mother. "Grandma is like the person who gave birth to me a second time. My life may not be as complete as others, but for me, the love from my mothers and grandma is the most sacred thing." I hold on to it even now. Although loved, for a child without father or mother, Hoa never truly had complete happiness. Growing up with mixed Western features, she had to endure scrutinizing looks and whispers about her origins, making her feel sad and hurt. She said she could not remember how many times she had shed tears during long, sleepless nights. She once dreamed that her parents would come looking for her, but she dreamed, and the dream never became reality. She always wondered, "Who is my father?" From adolescence, every time she looked in the mirror and saw her face different from those around her. But because she was still young, she did not yet have the concept of searching for her father. Only when she grew up did she resolve to find her father at all costs. However, for her, finding her father seemed hopeless. When I was little, I also felt I was a bit different from my friends, but at that time I didn't have enough thoughts to go searching. But gradually as I grew up, that question grew along with my age. She choked up. "Many people say I am mixed race. Why not go find my father like others who have found their fathers and reunited? I want to find him too, but I don't know where to start. No photos, no documents, no clue. How can I know who my father is?" I seemed hopeless. The wish to meet her father became even stronger when her adoptive grandmother passed away. Before dying, Mrs. Nho urged her to quickly find her father again to reunite. She said, "Hoa, if possible, go find your father. Maybe he is still alive waiting to meet you." But desire and determination are one thing. Finding a way is another. She was completely stuck. It was not until 2020 that luckily some mixed-race friends of hers introduced her to Jimmy Nhat Tung, the founder of Amerasians Without Borders, a non-profit organization in the US that has helped many Amerasians in Vietnam with DNA testing. Through the Amerasian Homecoming Act, I thought all Amerasians had already left. But when I discovered that many Amerasians were still stuck in Vietnam, that's why we sat down together, and that's the reason we established the association. Jimmy Nhat Tung seemed to be Hoa's last hope, so she immediately connected with Tung for support. Tung recounted, "In April 2020, I was about to close the program assisting Vietnamese American siblings with DNA testing. Hoa was the last person that year to contact me. She had to test DNA 4 times because every time the sample was sent, it was damaged. But a miracle happened. On the 4th time, good news arrived.
Thì tôi nhớ mãi cái ngày
I will
23
always remember
tháng
March
3,
23rd, 2023, when I received a phone call from the representative of Amerasians Without Borders in Vietnam telling me, "You are mixed race."
là chỉ có like. Thì không những vậy mà
And
còn
not
thêm
only
một cái
that,
phần nữa
but
là
also, you have
chị đã
found
tìm
your
được gia
family.
đình.
The results confirmed that her biological father was an American veteran named Ronald Neil Hodnett, but he had passed away many years earlier due to cancer. Luckily, the paternal family was very happy to find her and even agreed to support all the paperwork for her to go to the U.S.
I was surprised. You know, we didn't think Ronnie ever had children.
That moment, Hoa was indescribably happy, though her father's passing left a void in her heart. But at least she still got to reunite with people who shared her blood, and they welcomed her without rejecting her. Reunion after 57 years. On February 29th, 2024, Hoa bid farewell to relatives in her adoptive grandmother's family and friends in Vietnam, setting off to the U.S. to settle and reunite with her paternal family. In Spokane, Washington State, U.S., Jimmy Nhat Tung, along with some Vietnamese expatriates, prepared a small cozy room and a small party to welcome Hoa. Mrs. Linda also took a long flight across the U.S. from North Carolina State to meet Hoa and wanted to ensure that Hoa would be welcomed in the arms of the paternal family. To prepare for Hoa, she bought a bouquet of flowers, a cake, and brought along an album full of images of her deceased brother. At the airport, Mrs. Linda nervously held her brother's photo and the bouquet of flowers, waiting for her grandchild to appear. For Hoa and this aunt, that reunion moment they had waited for too long. Right at the airport lobby, the moment Hoa stepped out to meet her relatives she had never met, both she and Mrs. Linda could not hold back their emotions.
Cái đó là một cái cảm giác
That is an unforgettable feeling in my life.
trong cuộc đời của tôi. Quan trọng là tôi đã
The important thing is that I have found my roots. I have found the biggest answer of my life. Who am I? She ran to me, and the overwhelming emotion was so great that both she and I threw everything aside and ran to embrace each other tightly. Emotions overflowed when two blood relatives met after 57 years when all hope seemed extinguished. Tears of happiness fell. They were worth more than thousands of words of love at that time. Mrs. Linda confided that as soon as she saw Hoa, she felt this was a petite, sweet, and truly beautiful girl. For the first time after 57 years, I have found my family. Are you tired? Tired, but happy. Who am I? I have been searching for 57 years, nearly an entire lifetime. Hoa, with tearful eyes, said that her plan when coming to the U.S. was, after stabilizing her life a bit, to visit her father's grave and say to him the words of love for father that she had kept in her heart. I am planning to visit my father's grave to let him know he has a child.
Để cho ông biết là ông có một người con. Tôi nghĩ
I think I must tell my father that I love him very much. To this day, the fact that her father is no longer in this world and her biological mother is unknown still remains Hoa's lingering regret. But anyway, a case like Hoa's can be said to be one of the lucky cases. To be able to go to the US to settle under the Amerasian Homecoming Act, enacted in 1987 to create opportunities for Amerasian children in Vietnam to have the chance to reunite with family in the United States. But Amerasians must prove they are children of an American soldier. To do this, DNA test results are only one part. The rest depends on the cooperation of the father or relatives in the father's family. Jimmy shared that there are cases where even though contact has been made with the father, they do not accept and say to let their lives be peaceful. Regarding Hoa, when having a new life in the land of America, she tries to improve her English more and keeps in touch with the Vietnamese community in the US. When asked if she is afraid of having to integrate into a new life, far different from life back home, she answered that she is worried but believes every effort will be rewarded. She said, "I am the child of a soldier. The soldier's spirit is in me." When coming to the US, Hoa's English progressed relatively quickly. She gradually spoke quite well. The paternal family also supported her a lot, giving her the cozy feeling of a real family.
Community home á.
Trời anh chỉ ăn cái gì bự ăn ngay tại cồn sào thì
Cái sự chào đón của mọi
The
người
welcome
là
from
xuất phát
everyone
từ
comes from
sự
empathy
đồng
for our
cảm
living circumstances
về
and
cái hoàn
fate.
cảnh sống, cái số phận của chúng tôi. Thành ra,
As a
chúng tôi
result,
sống với
we
chung
live
một
together in
nhà,
one house.
thì
We
chúng tôi
consider
coi
each
nhau
other
như
as
anh em.
siblings,
Còn tôi là
and
cái
I am the
người mới
newest
nhất trong
person in
nhà.
the house.
Nhưng mà từ khi đặt
But
chân
from the
đến
moment I
ngôi
set
nhà,
foot in the
thì
house, I
mình
felt
cảm
a
thấy như là
family
có một cái không
atmosphere.
khí gia đình.
Because the
Tại
brothers
vì
and
các
sisters
anh
always
chị
support
rồi
me, guide me,
luôn
those
luôn
who came
hỗ trợ
before
mình,
guide those
rồi
who
hướng
come
dẫn
after,
mình, người đi
creating
trước,
for me a
hướng dẫn người đi
cozy
sau.
atmosphere like family.
Tạo cho mình có một cái không khí ấm cúng của gia đình.
It has created for me an opportunity that I could not imagine in my life there would be a day when I could come here. And at the same time, I have found my family. I thank all the brothers and sisters because we all share the same fate. Each person is a color in the palette of the picture of life.
mỗi người là một cái màu sắc trong cái gam màu của cái bức tranh về cuộc đời. Em cảm ơn
Thank everyone very much. Thank Jimmy very much.
Not shake hands. Okay.
Thus, after 57 years not knowing who her biological family was, with Hoa, just an embrace, an acknowledgement of deep family love from the paternal family, helped her erase all the days of sorrow and separation. Today's tears of hers are not only the joy of reunion, but also a message to all wandering lives. When you still have hope, there will still be hearts waiting to welcome you back.